last week about temperatures been in the 80s at this hour.
Right.
And now it's a totally different forecast and a chance for rain in it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the maps. We'll start with our severe weather risk. We're at the marginal to slight chances for some strong thunderstorms. I think the best chances will be the areas to the south where we've seen temperatures climb. We still have readings in the 70s and 80s as you look to the south, but most of us have cooled off quite a bit. So we don't have a lot of warm air to work with, but we have enough. We have enough to at least keep some of these storms going. Starting to see patches of energy popping up just to the north of Pecos, to the west of Fort Stockton. Fort Stockton had a fairly large cell develop, and also the northeastern counties. We'll kind of zoom in and talk about this. Here's the storms around Pecos. There's one cell popping up around Balmorhea. You can expect strong winds with these storms because they're actually pretty fast movers. They're all drifting off to the east. Possible hail, definitely some lightning associated with any of the energy. Storms to the northeast, the bulk of this has moved a little bit further out of our viewing area around Post, but we're still seeing some energy hang on. And this is, again, this is just the beginning because out west we're starting to see Artesia and Carlsbad. See a little bit of the green showing up there. We take it out wider. There's the culprit, that energy starting to move in. And as it does, it's going to tap into a fairly moist atmosphere. We have moisture in place, so we can definitely expect some thunderstorms tonight. Again, here are those storms pushing off to the east, so Midland, Odessa could see a stray storm or two here in the next hour or so, and then more energy is expected to move in. We take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, and we kind of pinpoint where we may see some of the strongest storms later on today. Look at all that energy moving out. This is around 7 p.m. Terrell County just covered with rain, and this is a forecast model. This doesn't necessarily mean this is exactly what's going to happen, but this is a good predictor of what's going on. Northern zones will see rain, and then we'll see some wraparound energy too across Midland and Odessa. These storms will stray through overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Look at there, Tuesday at 1 a.m. Still seeing showers along the eastern edge of our neighborhood, and could even see some icy conditions to the north, but we're not anticipating the bulk of that moving into our area. All right, take a look at the almanac for today. 62 the high. Tomorrow will be at some 10 degrees cooler, and as we make it to the high for tomorrow, it will get colder throughout the day, which we'll talk about. Right now, air temperature still at 62. We have a southeast wind at 18. Our humidity is in the 50s. And of course, around the basin, again, still seeing warm conditions, even warmer around the Pecos area, Marfa, Alpine. Look at the 80s down south. And that's, again, where the warm air is going to clash with some very cool air. Wind speeds have been out of the southeast, so that's pulling the moisture in. You can tell by the humidity levels, 50%, 63%. So the moisture's there. We have the moisture, we have the lift provided by the storm system, and of course we're going to see, once this passes, some very strong winds in the forecast too. As it passes through, look at the wind speeds tomorrow. These sustained winds, and it may not seem impressive, but we could see wind gusts in the 38 to 40 mile per hour range with this storm as it moves through. So wind advisories already in place for the mountains. This is going to be until noon, but we will have wind in our forecast for quite some time. So get ready for it. Here are the temperatures overnight tonight. We're going to be tracking these storms tonight, so make sure you keep it tuned to local too. 30s and even some 20s showing up for morning lows, and then highs only in the 40s tomorrow. When's the last time we said 40s and 50s for highs? We're getting that though. We're back to it. 40s overnight tonight, maybe even some 30s showing up. Barstow expecting 32, and then highs in the 50s tomorrow. 57, Monahan's big. Midland, Odessa right at 50 degrees. 48 in Garden City. These are highs, folks. And then, of course, low 40s, 30s expected around Red Bluff and Balmorhea, and then highs in the 50s there. 60s down around Dryden, but that's because it's take a while for that cool air to reach you. 23 in Valentine, 26 in Pine Springs, and then a high of 73 in Presidio. We'll see 60s around Alpine. Forecast is expected to dry out, but again, it is going to be much cooler. Okay, let's talk about Tuesday. Tuesday will be a windy forecast. We're going to go with temperatures near 50 degrees for a high, but this will occur at around lunchtime, and then it will get colder throughout the day. So if you have to come to work at 2, make sure you bring a coat because it is not going to be 52 degrees at about 6 p.m. tomorrow. 50s near 60 degrees on Wednesday, 64 on Thursday, 67 Friday, 70 Saturday, Sunday, and then 69 for Monday. So we got good looking weather for the weekend, but this evening we're going to be tracking storms and keeping you up to date. If we have some warnings, we'll put those on the screen for you, and we'll do some cut-ins if necessary as well.
There you go. And so if anybody has dinner plans, anything going on tonight, be sure to take that umbrella and keep up with us on Facebook.